Hey everybody, it's Tom. Welcome back to Labyrinth. I'm recording these voiceovers in post-production, and I'll tell you why in just a moment, but first let's show the fiery something, shall we? He still wants to see a rock video, which we made last time, so let's show him the camcorder and see if he likes it. He does, and he wants to give us a piece of his mind. If you've seen the film, you kind of know what's coming. Sadly, they weren't able to properly depict this without making a very special sprite for this guy. So all I can do is take what he's offering, and now I have his head, and he leaves. This way they don't actually have to show me a headless fiery, which I understand is nightmare fuel for some kids, and some adults as well. So I've summoned another fiery, and he also wants to give me stuff, so we'll take that from him. I have his arm now, so I'm going to keep taking stuff from him until he stops. What happened this afternoon, I went to load up the game, and the game would not load the second side of the disc, just like last weekend. Apparently, recording on Saturdays is cursed. No other explanation for it, really. Now I have the fiery's leg as well, by the way, and he doesn't really want to give me anything else, so I'm going to wander out of the woods any moment now. I spent the day playing through the game again, and I did actually better than I did on my last necessary reattempt last weekend. I didn't get caught in the brick hallway. And I only got caught in a hedge maze, I think twice. Hedge maze. So I didn't lose any time. I still have a full set of time. Conceivably. More on that later. And I've got everything I need, and things are going swimmingly, and I'm wearing a blue shirt this time. I decided once I got things going that I was just going to record footage and then record these voiceovers later, because I've kind of had it with the Commodore 64 at this point. I'm going to record footage from one more game for a special episode that will drop sometime this week. I don't know when. And we may or may not have one more episode of Labyrinth. I have to try a couple things. Because everything didn't necessarily go too well after the footage you're going to see today. I'll bring that back up at the end, but here we are back at the Bog of Eternal Stench. So he's not blocking the bridge. The bridge is apparently slippery as all get out. So our best bet was to be incredibly careful while crossing, and also to try to use the fiery's leg as help to stabilize ourselves as we cross. Three legs are better than two. Am I right, guys? Nothing really changed when I did that. So I was trying to make sure there was nothing else I should try to do to utilize the fiery leg. Successfully crossed the bridge. The bridge destroys itself, which kind of sucks, but thankfully we can get across later successfully. And here we are in the Goblin Village. A couple goblins run around trying to catch you. If you step into the houses, they will either warp you to a different part of the village or take you someplace else, like back to the damn Bog of Eternal Stench. Get ready to see the cycle a couple of times. So here we are, bridge is gone. Notice there's a couple of rocks over at the other side there. I'm bringing Ludo over. And Ludo can call the rocks like he has in the past, because Ludo is awesome. And we're going to call the rocks a few more times, so we have a rock bridge across the bog. I love that sound, by the way. So there we go. Now we've got a bridge. A little slippery. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do I fall in? Nope, I made it. That's the last time I'm going to make it, by the way. I'd learned that the helmet will actually cause problems at the end of the game. It can keep the goblins away from you in the next section here. But apparently Jareth won't interact with you properly if you're wearing it, so this is the only place you can dispose of it, is here in the Bog of Eternal Stench, so I got rid of the helmet. Oh well. Here's our second run of the Goblin Village. Basically, we're trying to get to the underground, which is the beginning of the end game sequence. There's a few different places you can end up while in the Goblin Village. We already saw that we can end up right back at the Bog of Eternal Stench. We can go to the underground, or we can go to the castle. Here I've been caught by a goblin, and there's no easy way out. So this is probably one of the most interesting concepts in the game here. We're going to adumbrate the elephant, and he now exists. And then I summon the elephant, and he bursts a hole in the wall again. That's about all we can ask from 1986, is to just put a hole in the wall for us. And that'll take us back to the stone faces, whom we haven't seen before, and they don't do very much. At the very least, they look pretty cool. Apparently, if you rap on them or insult them, they'll give you hints, but they're vague, boring hints that really don't help us too much. And now we're going back to the door knockers. Oh, what fun. I'm just going to jump things ahead to the Goblin Village again, and I will meet everybody there. Although I might smell kind of bad. Ah, crap. Smelling awful for the rest of the game might be the story of my life. I try using the perfume, and it doesn't actually work while you're at the bog. I tried doing other things to the perfume, like verifying that it was in my inventory, trying to insert it, which that's not something one does with perfume, so I'm not sure why that verb-noun combination was a good one. You can't open it, doesn't show up as an open option. Tried using it again, no good. So I just went back to the Goblin Village. Using the perfume here works perfectly, and this slows down the goblins. If you stink, they try to get rid of you immediately. The correct door to get out of here is randomized, it seems, depending on color choices and other things you've done in the game. So there's no definitive door to go through. I was doing my best to get right to the underground because I'm to understand the castle sequence sucks. Again, there's really no way to know where to go. You just pick a door and hope things work out for the best. And they did not. Not only did that door lead to the castle of the Goblin King, this is when everything broke. The castle did not load. I tried it again on a couple different emulators as well, just to see. And we may or may not be stuck here. I'm going to try to get things working again for Wednesday's episode. There's also going to be a bonus episode this week on Frankie the computer game. But there may or may not be another episode of Labyrinth. I'm going to have Alan tell everybody on Twitter on Tuesday. That will basically be where to look for whether or not the last episode of Labyrinth is a go. I'm going to check and see if Kim Justice's playthrough shows the end. I might send people there if I still run into trouble, but I'm going to do everything I can to get things going for Wednesday. I have a date with a bottle of whiskey. I hope your weekend is going a little bit better. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll see everyone on Wednesday, and as always, the bear hugs are free.